there, and welcome to the channel where you will find love, laughs, and DIYs. My name is Crafty Kathy. I'm the owner and creator behind Kit's Vintage Farmhouse in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I am so happy and thankful that you came to spend your time to craft with me today. I'm so proud to be participating in a collaboration hosted by the Crafting Cousins where you're going to have a chance to win 3 wonderful prizes. We're going to talk about that in just a minute, but for right now, let's get on into this video. We were asked to come up with a Christmas song to base our video off of, and mine is going to be What Christmas Means to Me. And in my video, through my DIYs, I want you to travel back in time with me through some of my memories and my favorite traditions. And the very first one and foremost is definitely my faith. The supplies you're going to need for this DIY is going to be one of these little platters from the Dollar Tree. And then I have a little light up church that I got from the Dollar General for $2. I got this last year, but I saw these the other day. Also, these came from Dollar General, and the little reindeer, I got these for just $1 or $2 after Christmas last year. Then I have some various little bottle brush trees and ornaments that came from the Dollar Tree and Dollar General. And of course, a little bag of polyfill. Now let's get started. In my little pencil box that one of my subscribers sent me, she had all kinds of different popsicle sticks, and I'm going to pick this little skinny one, and I use my little snippers just to cut off 2 small pieces because we need a cross for the top of our church. I use my little sanding sponge just to make sure that I didn't have any sharp edges, and I kind of rounded the edges just a little bit so they wouldn't be so harsh, and then I'm just simply going to glue these together to make a little cross. I'm going to put just a tiny little dot of glue at the very front part of my church, and then I'm going to hold the cross there for just a moment so that it will hold still and glue on. The next step is to take a little bit of my Mod Podge, and I use matte Mod Podge, but you can use any, and I'm just going to put it on both sides of the roof of my church, and then I'm going to add a little bit of faux snow, and I'm also going to add some of my favorite diamond glitter. I'm not usually one that goes for glitter, and you may not be either, so you can just admit that step if you don't want to use it. But at Christmas, I like all the shine and glitter that I can get. Which brings me to my first memory when I was about 8 years old, and I went to a little country church that was about this size, actually, and I was waiting on my turn to go on stage for the Christmas play. It had just snowed, and it was up on a hill, and I started yelling outside because I was bored and I was 8, and I started realizing the cool echo. Well, the first words that came to my mind were ugly 4-lettered curse words, and I was yelling them to the top of my lungs, and it was echoing across that snow, and I thought it was so cool until my mom pulled me inside the church and everybody was staring, and she wore me out in front of everybody. My poor mama was so embarrassed. Then for my next step, I use this slick paint that I get from Walmart, and I'm just going around the windows to accentuate them. So when it came my turn to get on stage and the spotlight was on me, I let everybody know that I was sorry for saying those 4-letter words, and my Aunt Sheila taught me those, and we needed to pray for her. The way that I keep this glitter from shedding is when I'm finished, I just use like a spray adhesive, or you can use a hairspray, and you just go over it and your glitter will not shed and fall off everywhere. I made sure to get up in the little eaves of the church, and I have to stop myself with the glitter at this point. Now we're going to move on to the reindeer. Okay, I took these little guys outside and I spray painted them with my Rust-Oleum 2 times in matte white, and it just made such a difference on them. One of them has a little hanger left between his antlers, so I took it off, and I'm just going to add some Mod Podge on his antlers, a little bit of the faux snow, and of course, some of the diamond glitter. Now we're going to move on to the trees, and we're going to do basically the same thing. I'm going to show you how I do one, but I'm actually going to do all my trees this way. I'm going to take my off-white color called Vintage Linen. It's a DIY paint, And I'm just kind of going to brush it through the trees very lightly to kind of snow them up because it wasn't enough for me. See the difference here? And then I'm just going to add my little fake snow, and I'm going to add my glitter, of course. Now that everything is snowed up and glittered up, we're just going to put it together. I'm going to add some of my polyfill along the bottom of my tray, and I just left my tray silver because you're really not going to see it that much. Plus the silver is going to reflect the light. I set my church down, and then I'm going to set my little reindeer down beside the church. I realized that I had put way too much fluff in here, so I took a little bit of it out. Then after I get my 2 reindeer on, I'm going to add these 2 beautiful florals, and I'm just going to set those on the side. And I want to show you what I did to my church to elevate it a little bit. I just took an empty ribbon spool and set it there because you're going to cover it up with the fluff and you'll never see it. Now for the little bottle brush trees. These 2 that light up, by the way, came from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to light those up and put them on the back. And then all these little tiny ones, of course, came from the Dollar Tree also. And the way that I do pretty much anything when I'm doing a DIY, if I put something on one side, say on the left side, I'm going to try to put the exact same thing on the right side, just so that they're cohesive and they go together. If you notice, I stuck 2 of the little green trees in the front along with 2 white ones, and then I put 2 white ones behind the church. I'm going to finish it off by putting a little sprig of berries in the very front, and then I just went back and made sure that I glued everything down so that it would be stationary. And there's my little church on the hill.
Carol's being sung, it's Christmas. The fire crackling gently all the while. Snow is falling down, guess everything's just right. But I'll be wishing you were here with me.
I just want to stop for a moment and thank you so much for coming and spending your time with me to craft today. If you're coming over from one of the other channels, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. I want to invite you to subscribe and become a part of the Crafty Kathy family here on YouTube. All you got to do is just hit that little red subscribe button and you're in. And hey, if you're liking this video, give me a big thumbs up because it really helps me out on YouTube. And I want to invite you to come along to my other channels. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, the whole 9 yards. Now let's talk about this collaboration.
Today we are teaming up with some of our crafty friends for a Christmas collaboration. We are all so thankful for each and every one of you and wanted to be able to do a giveaway just in time for Christmas. We are excited to announce that we will have 3 winners. Don't skip forward. Watch the rest of this clip to see what you have to do to have a chance to win and how you can qualify. If you are looking for a beautiful piece to dress up your home or to give as a gift, check out Tailored Canvases. They have gorgeous canvases for every room of your home, and you can even get a personalized canvas. Tailored Canvases will be gifting one lucky friend with a canvas of their choice up to a size of 24 by 48 inches. These are high quality home decor pieces that you are sure to love. Hop over to their website listed below and check out all they have to offer. Next we have Totally Dazzled. No matter what the occasion, if you want to add a little sparkle or a lot of bling, you can find the perfect pieces at Totally Dazzled. They have gorgeous pieces that can be used to dress up your craft projects, give the perfect sparkle to your table, or even add to your wedding. Totally Dazzled has generously provided a $50 gift certificate for one lucky friend to use on whatever they would like from their website. Make sure you follow the link in the description box below to go check out all of their beautiful pieces. Last but certainly not least, we have a Surebonder Grace Monroe Glue Skillet Kit. You will see Trish using hers in the Crafting Cousins video and will see just how handy it is, especially when working with florals. It saves your fingers from burns and is an invaluable tool that any crafter would love to get, especially at Christmas. Follow the link in the description box to get even more information on this amazing gift. Now, how do you qualify? Watch all 5 videos in the collaboration. Each creator will ask you a specific question somewhere in their video. Leave your answer to the question in the comments and you are entered to win. You must answer the question for each of the 5 videos to be eligible. We will be drawing for our winners on Saturday, December 17th, and will announce the winners on the community tabs for our channels. Please be advised that Tailored Canvases, Totally Dazzled, and SureBonder are providing these amazing gifts at no charge in connection with these videos. Also, please note that this giveaway is in no way associated with YouTube, and YouTube is not responsible for anything regarding the giveaway. As always, we would like to thank you for your support. We appreciate you all. Good luck in the drawings and Merry Christmas.
Keep listening because my question is going to be coming very soon. My next DIY is going to reflect the traditions of the past. I found this big old picture at the thrift store for only $3. It's 24 by 36 long. And guys, I didn't really like the picture that's inside of it or the glass. I took it outside and I gave it 2 coats of the Rust-Oleum 2 times in a flat white. When I brought it back inside, I ran over it in certain little spots with my sanding sponge because I wanted it to have some distressed edges where that dark color is going to come back through. My friend Lori over at Milton's Daughter sent me these gorgeous paint inlays from IOD. I am so excited to have some of these. Now, I've been wanting these for quite a while, and she sent me this and said, hey, give these a try. You can make the most beautiful pictures and decor from these, and they're actually like paint infused, and I'm going to show you how to use them. They're really easy. I'm just going through here to show you some of the different ones that's in this book. Now, I get all my crafting supplies over at Milton's Daughter, and I'm going to leave the link in the description box. It's www.miltonsdaughter.com, and if you use the code CraftyCathy10, you're going to get 10% off your order. Lori is always amazing if you have any questions or you need any kind of help, so you should go over and check her out over at Milton's Daughter. I decided that I wanted to use this one with the Christmas trees for my beautiful picture because it brought back such a beautiful memory from my childhood that I'm going to tell you while I'm doing my DIY. What I like to do on my inlays is just cut as close to the picture as I possibly can. It has a really cool grid that makes it easy so you know that you're laying your lines down straight. And it always helps me get my pictures perfect every time. Now, the way that you use the paint inlays is to get you a mineral-based chalk paint, and I'm using the DIY, which is an amazing, amazing chalk paint, and I'm going to just go over my whole picture where the inlay is going to go. And now looking back at it, I realize I didn't put thick enough of the paint. You don't have to put like a huge gob on there, but you do have to put a pretty good amount. And the memory that this brought back is when I was a kid. My papa passed away when I was 4, but I can still vividly remember us going up to the mountains here in Tennessee. And my cousin had this huge farm, and we would get to go pick our Christmas tree every year, and my grandpa would cut it down for us. Sometimes it would take hours because we had to get the biggest Christmas tree there. And I just remember that, and it brings back memories that's so vivid like it was yesterday. And guys, all you do is just lay your inlay down, and I just kind of use my fingers to smooth it out. I didn't do the best job at smoothing some of these out, but it still turned out beautiful in the end. And then you just take one of your, like a spray mister, not a water bottle, but a mister, and you just go over it and you wet it. And then I like to use just a baby wipe and kind of pounce out that wetness, or you can use a sponge, it doesn't matter. And then you totally leave it alone and let it dry. After your piece is totally dried, you're going to mist it once again, and this is going to help that paper to loosen up where you can just pull it off of there, and then your picture is totally finished. I just like to use the baby wipe to get out that excessive moisture once again before I pull it up. Thinking back on that memory that I shared, it makes me realize that these children are never too young to show them these beautiful Christmas traditions, guys. I have a grandson that's 4, and I have one that's due any day now. And it just makes me realize that I need to spend every moment this Christmas trying to make his Christmas special. So maybe one day he can look back and say, I remember when my grand did this and this and this with me. It doesn't matter how young he is. They're always watching us. And so we always need to do those beautiful Christmas traditions and keep them alive, because if we don't keep them alive, they're going to die out, and our children and their kids are never going to know what our Christmases were like. So anyways, you just very slowly pull up the paper, and it took me a few minutes because I was like, oh, I hope this is going to work. Now, it's supposed to have a look like it's kind of lighter in some spots. It looks like it has been painted on there. It's so pretty. And you can use these inlays up to 3 times each, just every time they get a little bit lighter. But look how beautiful this turned out. I absolutely love this, but I want to Kathy it up just a little bit. So I took 3 of my little buffalo check bows, and I get these off of Amazon. They come in a pack of 100. They're white and black or red and black. And I'm just going to stick one little bow on each of my trees. And then I've got these beautiful pine cones that I get from the Dollar General for 12 for a buck. And I'm going to stick 3 of them at the very top of my picture. And you know, it makes me think, too, that I was only 4 years old when my papaw passed away, but that memory is still so vivid. And so I'm not promised tomorrow. None of us are. And I want to keep those memories alive so that my grandson can have beautiful memories like that of me someday. And when I look at this picture, it almost makes me want to cry when I remember how great that was to go get your own Christmas tree. But really, it's the time that we get to spend with our family and to have those traditions passed on. Even with my dear Aunt Sheila that taught me all those 4-letter words that I was hollering at church that day. I just took some little Christmas pics from Amazon and popped them up there by my pine cones. I hope you like this one.
The snowflakes are dancing in time. The children in rows, and they all sing along. From a distance you hear bells and chimes. The candles are burning as bright as the stars that shine from
The next thing that Christmas means to me is just the beauty of the season. I love all the glitz and glam that comes along with Christmas. I got 2 vases from the thrift store, and I got the florals also for only $10 for all that. Now, the vases were peeling off. They had that red sea glass all over them. They were peeling off, so I actually used a sander and got all that off, and then I painted them with my Rust-Oleum 2 times in the colonial red color. We're going to do a little decoupage on these. Now, my friend Lori over at Milton's Daughter sent me 2 of these beautiful papers, and I absolutely love to decoupage with these. So what I think I'm going to do is just go around these. You know, anytime that I decoupage, I do not like straight edges because it doesn't look natural. So what I do is just wet the end of a paintbrush, and I go around the perimeter of my picture, and then I'm just going to simply tear it away. Now, there is a funny story, of course, attached to that vase that I saw. I saw those all the way across the thrift store, and I knew that it was half price day. And the florals that goes along with these two vases, when you see these, especially if you ever buy florals, you're going to know how much somebody spent on these vases. Now, I saw these from across the store. I knew the vases looked all crazy and falling apart, paint falling off of them. They looked awful. And I thought, man, if somebody puts their hands on that before I can get across this room and get that in my buggy, I'm going to go off. I'm going to act like a Tennessee tornado and show my tail right here in this thrift store in Soddy, Tennessee. And they're going to put me in jail. I mean, that's how excited I was when I saw this doggone vase across the room. So anyways, you see that I made it. I only paid $10 for both vases and the florals. But wait till you see the florals. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do is just go all the way around here like I said and just rip the paper off. And this is what my vases look like after I painted it. It's not that beautiful see-through red glass, but I didn't have any of that, so we used that colonial red, and I think it turned out good. And you just need to put down something so your vase is not going to wobble around. You just figure out where you want your picture at. And then I'm using this DIY liquid patina that Miss Lori sent me. It's kind of like a Mod Podge, but it's way thinner, and I actually like it better. And I'm sorry if my head gets in the way in certain spots in this, but you do it the same way as Mod Podge. You just lay it down. And anytime that I decoupage, I always lay my piece down from the center, and then I move my way outward. That's going to keep it from getting any kind of wrinkles, and you just use your hands to kind of smooth out any wrinkles. Now, this paper is thicker than a rice paper or a napkin, so you don't have to worry so much about the wrinkles, but you just have to be careful and use those fingers, and the heat from your fingers acts like an iron, and it will get any wrinkles out. And so I just went around, and then I made sure that my edges were down really good. And look how beautiful this turned out. It took this vase from just a regular old vase to an upscale high-end piece. And I just cannot believe, I still can't believe I got these both vases and florals for $10. Okay, so I do the exact same thing with my other vase. I'm going to put down my liquid patina, and I'm going to lay it down from the center and work my way out using my fingers to get any wrinkles out. And then I just make sure that those edges are sealed really well. And you'll have to ignore my goofiness, but I had to take these things outside because there was no way for me to show you inside about these florals. These florals were so tall. When I set the vases down on the floor, they're about 3.5 foot tall total. And I wanted you to see the whole process. And yes, I'm talking, but who knows what I'm saying. You know I like to talk by now. So what I like to do when I do my florals is I put my tallest pieces in the center. I always start with the very center and I do my tallest pieces. And you know my rule is what I do on one, I'm going to do in the exact spot on the other one. And if I put something on the left side, I'm going to put the exact same thing on the right side. Now what I'm doing here is going through looking to find my tallest pieces. I'm not even seeing which piece is gold and which piece is the red. I'm just going through looking for my tallest pieces and putting those right in the center. Do you see what I'm talking about how much someone spent on the floral alone? These had to come from Hobby Lobby or some nice place because these are not like thrift store type, florals. These are really nice. There was these beautiful golden leaves and these big tall plumes and it was just, they're so pretty. And here again, I'm just showing you that my very center is the tallest, and then I kind of fan it out on both sides. And I pay special attention to try to put the same thing on both sides to make it equal. Like if I put a leaf on one side, I'm going to try to put that same leaf on the other side. And then the ones that do fan out, I just really exaggerate that and fan it out as most as I can. But I just can't get over how beautiful these florals are. And then these ones are like red cattails. these are gorgeous. I bet they paid $5 or more a piece for each of these. And each of the floral vases had 4 or 5 of these cattail pieces in them. And then let's talk about these beautiful, it's like these big gold explosive dandelions. I don't know what they were, but they were just the stuff that my Christmas dreams are made out of. They were so pretty. And I just kind of placed them around the tallest ones first and then went down in the size to the smaller ones. I realize that some of that green floral foam is sticking up on the one on the right side, but we're going to cover that up and you're never going to see that. I'm going to start kind of bending a couple of the florals forward where it's going to kind of cover that up and look like it's cascading down the side. And the beauty and glitz of these florals reminds me of one year my mom bought me a Michael Jackson glove when I was in 2nd grade. And I wore it to school for school picture day. And I wouldn't take it off. And I got a paddling because I kept putting it up in the middle of the picture. And I want to say real quick that if this is the first time you've ever been to my channel, I always love to show you how to do DIYs on a budget always. And you know, I like to give out tips and tricks on ways that you can sell your crafts either at a show or at a store or an antique booth. Now, in my little store, these are some of the things that sell really big for me. The florals are a great seller at craft stores and craft shows, and I just want to give you some tips and tricks that might help you along the way, because why just hoard up your crafts? For so long I just gave them out to my friends and family, and I still do that, but now I've found a way where I can make money off of them and, you know, get some extra income, and I want to help you to do the same. I would love if you would hit that subscribe button and become a part of our family here at Crafty Kathy, where maybe you can learn some of the tips and tricks to help you be successful in your own business too. You can do this. All it takes is some determination. Every time that photographer said 1, 2, 3, I would stick that glove up because I had such determination back then. And guys, when my mom got those proofs in the mail and she saw that glove stuck up in the middle of the picture, she wore me out. And I think at that point, Mama realized she made a huge mistake by buying me that Michael Jackson bad glove, because I was really bad. And for the last step, I didn't want a big gaudy bow on this, so what I did was just took some of this ribbon that I got from a thrift store, and I made 6 loops from it, and I just tied it at the bottom. And I'm just going to take one of these little skewers, put some glue on it, and shove it up through the bottom, and we're going to stick it right down in there like we did the rest of the florals. Let me show you how I made the loops. I kind of figured to do this bow instead of some other kind because I didn't want tails on it. All I did was make a loop, and then I make a little twist at the bottom where I'm holding it with my fingers. I'm going to make another loop the exact same size, and each time after I make my loops, I'm going to twist so that ribbon will be going the correct way. And I literally just made 6 little loops while I'm holding it at the bottom, and then I tie it with a little bit of jute twine and cut off that excess. And then I just use that little skewer and go up through the middle of it, and we're going to stick it right down in the very front of our vases. My skewer stick was a little bit long, so I did just kind of break off the edge, and then I just stick it right down into that floral foam and I fluff it out. And I hope you like this one, my $10 project.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when there's love, there's always a way. And oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold
The last thing I'm going to show what Christmas means to me is my family and friends. This year, I can't help but reflect on the ones that I've lost. You know, Christmas is a beautiful, magical time, but always I miss the ones that aren't there anymore. And I lost my sister and Sabby this year. And I'm going through all my different decoupage stuff, and it makes me realize that I need to do a good decoupage Christmas video, which will probably be the next one. So I was going through all this stuff, and I settled on the red birds. You know how I am about the cardinals this year because they say that those are a little visitor from heaven, and they're just something that's very near and dear to my heart this year. And so we're going to decoupage this onto a candle. I'm going to use this beautiful IOD Christmas transfer from the Christmas Valley transfer book. I'm going to cut this pretty holly wreath in half, and then I'm going to use these two little red birds. Then I've just got some candles that I got from the thrift store. They're battery operated. I know over at Milton's daughter, she did have a lot of the IOD Christmas supplies. I'm not sure if she has any more, but you can always definitely check and get your 10% off. If you've never done a transfer before, they're so easy. All you do is lay it down where you want it to go. Then you use your little tool that they send you and just kind of rub. But as I was going along, I found that it was so much easier just to use my fingernail on this candle because it didn't take much to get it to stick. So I just used the little tool and my fingernail to kind of go over it, and it just lays down onto the surface that you're trying to place it on. Then after you get it on there, you use the little film that came off of it and just kind of rub it over the top, and that's called burnishing it. And it really just kind of pushes it down into the surface that you just placed it on. I put my little holly bush down first, and then I put my little red birds. And this is so beautiful in the candlelight, y'all. I've created some DIYs in this video that are a little more detailed, and I wanted to do one that was really super simple and easy. I try to do a mix of both so that all crafting levels can join in and have some cake out of this. And here I'm just using my beautiful little red and black buffalo check bows that I get from Amazon, and I'm going to stick one on each side of my little red birds. And then there's one thing that Crafty Kathy loves to do, and that's use buttons. And so I'm taking a little black button, and I'm going to stick it right in the center of my little red bow. I wanted these to really shine and dance in the light, so I added some Mod Podge all around them, and I'm taking my beautiful diamond glitter, and I'm just going to put it all over this candle. Once I started adding it, I started adding a little bit more. It reminded me of those candles back in the 70s, those sugar candles that they call them, that had this beautiful sugar-looking crystal glitter all over them. And I thought they were so pretty. I'm into so, retro and vintage things anyway. And I just wanted to show you the difference in these, how beautiful these are. Plus, that Mod Podge will help seal in that transfer. Once again, you can just omit that glitter if you don't like it or if it's not your thing. This is just for inspiration to kind of give you some good ideas, and I'm so glad that you allow me to do that for you. I love you guys, and I thank God for each and every one of y'all. And I thank you for listening to my silly, funny Christmas memories and traditions. And my question for the video is, what does Christmas mean to you? What is that one memory that you have that sticks out, whether it be funny, sad, it doesn't matter. Just let me know. But I love funny stories in case you can't tell. So just let me know what Christmas means to you, and that's my question.
Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices for yonder brave.
Well, that's what Christmas means to me. And I know that you have some great Christmas traditions and some blessings and some funny things that go along with your Christmases too. Don't forget to visit the description box down below, and I will also put it in the very first comment and pin it so it will be easy for you to find. Go watch each of the videos. Hey, subscribe to everybody. and have a great Christmas and answer each of those questions, and good luck on your chance to win one of these 3 great prizes. We love you guys, and I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a blessed Christmas.